Davies in the middle. Checks back against Carter and scores. That is atypical for the Amina Margot.
Quickly gets it back again. Oh, what a goal! Well, that sums up her season. The Gunners are WSL champions.
Welcome back to another episode of Vic Akers Wonderland. We are back to our second last episode of the season. I know we've only been around 3 months, but 25 episodes, absolutely brilliant. I've had a blast in each and every one. Obviously, I've been accompanied by Adam and Matt all the way through, and they are here tonight. Adam, how are you?
Sort of sadness, really, because it's been a heck of a season. It's been a heck of a podcast run. I mean, we only dropped in about halfway through, but it's been a good run, and it's all going to come to an end very soon. So bittersweet, but looking forward to hoping we can end this one on a high and see how it goes.
And definitely, Matt, how are you?
Oh God, I feel like.
And also, sorry, Matt. Also, what happened to your pilot headset?
The audio's finally sorted itself out.
Whee!
So yes, no pilot's headset for this moment, but it's been a bit of an emotional week. I'm sure we'll get into that, but last couple of times now before we can have a little bit of a break, which is great to hear. But I'm looking forward to speaking more about women's football in general, as always.
No, definitely. But unfortunately, going to start this on a bit of a sad note. Rafaeli Salsa is set to leave Arsenal. I don't know about you boys, but I am absolutely gutted. I'm never going to see the Williamson and Rafaeli pairing ever again.
No.
It's broke me. I don't know if you guys are Disney fans, if you've ever seen Lilo and Stitch. When Lilo is upset and she's got Elvis Presley playing and she's sitting on the floor staring at the ceiling. That was me last night, and I also went to go and cry in the dark corner because I am gutted, honestly.
I confess I've not watched the film, but I have played the PlayStation game, so I think I got the gist of how the film works. Stuff about voodoo and an alien.
Basically, she locks her sister out the house, and the social worker's coming around, and she's playing Elvis Presley really loud, staring at the floor, looking very depressed. So that's the gist of it.
Thankfully, I'm not that I mean, I'm emotionally invested, but I was not brought to tears. But it was an annoyance. It all sort of came out of nowhere. I mean, I was devastated to learn. I mean, there was two big departures. You know, Rooster Littlejohn has left Aston Villa. That really hit me for 6. And I thought nothing could top that. And then, what do you know, Hafa's departing as well. It really came out of the blue. And it's one of those stories where you're hoping that the source is wrong. And but no, Tim has got his finger on the pulse, confirmed it, said, sorry, everyone, it's legit.
The thing is, if it comes from Tim, you know, it's on the money. Whereas the other reporter was very vague, nothing spot on, whereas Tim revealed that it's Orlando Pride, that what she wants to go to, which I get because Marta's over there, and I know there's a couple of other Brazilians over there as well. And it's just it's where they sort of goes to retire, I think. Well, I don't know much about the NWSL, but it's that sort of age group for retiring footballers, if you know what I mean.
Well, Matt said just before we came on, he said that a lot of the Brazilians do tend to play over in the NWSL. I think Tim said in his piece that it's not a slant against Arsenal, as I think maybe some departures may have been in the past. I think we could probably have an idea who they might be. She's very happy with Arsenal, and I think this is a personal decision rather than a professional decision. And it is a shame because, I mean, what's cruel about this is it should have been the perfect partnership, but because of injuries, we've hardly seen the two play each other. If you remember, Hafa came in last, not the winter happened, but the winter before, had a few good games, but really good, got injured for the rest of the season. So new season starts, Haff and Lair both get injured for the first half of the season. Second half of the season, we get it for a bit, and then Lair's out the rest of the season. There's been more, I reckon, if you've got a calculator out and count it all up, there's probably been more games in Haffer's spell when Haff has not played with Lair than when she has played with Lair. And it's frustrating because when the two are together, it looks great.
As I always say, they're the best centre backs in the league.
100%.
When they're playing together. Don't care what anyone says.
And they're both international captain, winning trophy captains, with Haff. I've worded that very badly. Haff obviously won the Copa America, and obviously Lair.
We won the Euros.
So.
But we did pit them to the post in the final of Lisbon, unfortunately.
Well, we pit them to the post while Haffer hit the post.
Yes.
But Tish, it's a loss. It's a real loss, and the best thing we can do at the weekend is to give her a real send off, and just cheer her name to Rothers and let her know that we are going to miss her. And you never know, football. Players do come back. Jodie Taylor, she returned. You never know. Maybe in some long future, Haffer may come back for a second go. But for now, it's departure, and now it just makes the window, the summer window, even more complicated because Jonas is probably going to want another left-footed centre half. We saw how it improved our build-up play.
Yep.
And where's he going to find one? So that's going to be one to watch, I reckon. But,
yeah, we're basically rebuilding from the back. All we've got at the moment that we know of is Lottie.
Yeah.
I don't think Lottie's going to be able to hold that line up because Jen is still in limbo.
Just want to quickly add, Lair's out injured for the start of the season, and now we don't have Haffer. So we are starting next season with a Lottie Wibbenmoor Yen BT centre-back partnership as things stands.
Well, technically, Jen hasn't re-signed yet. Her contract is up as of tomorrow.
Okay.
Or whenever you're listening to the podcast today.
So I forgot. Yeah, she's out. Yeah.
And Anna Patton should be coming home.
So this is the hypothetical. So I forgot that Jen was on a 1 year. So assuming Jen signs, it's Yen. So assuming Yen doesn't sign and assuming Patton comes back and all that, then it's a lot of there's a massive defensive hole that needs filling.
In the shape of Leah Williamson and Raffaele.
Exactly.
Who's going to step up and put those boots on? That is my question.
Yeah,
Matt.
Well,
very quiet over there.
Just to backtrack because everyone else got to share their emotions. Well, Lottie was listening to Heartbreak Hotel and Adam was sort of slowly drowning his sorrows. I was making sad me. Well, not me.
Yeah, you didn't help last night. You did not help.
I basically had How Do I Live and Without You by Leanne Rimes and What Hurts by Rascal Flatts. Just with the two of both Lotta and Rafa, and I was just like,
wasn't it Leah and Rafa? Sorry, not Lotta.
Yeah, Leah and Rafa. It was just it kind of hurts because she's been so vital. If she's not defended the last minute times that she's gotten back and made a block, or the last couple of times where she's that wall, and because we now do not have that wall, it's hard to say who's going to be there. I mean, just out of curiosity, I asked a friend of mine, Mark Lamberts. He runs like a scouting tweet page that people have seen. So I just thought quickly ask who's most similar to Raffaella. And according to the research, it said Linari of AS Roma. Just to let people know, she's 5'6", she's 29, and she's Italian. Viola Caligari, the Swiss 5'5.5" international from Levante, so we'll see her in the World Cup, I'd imagine. Viggo Jottir from Bayern, 27, from Iceland, just 5'7". Ironically, on the list, Lotta Wubben-Moy was on the list as well, and Irene Paredes, who's ironically right-footed, 5'8" from Barcelona. However, I've added on top of this Saki Kamagawa of Bayern, midfielder, and she can also play centre back. And
isn't that the one that kept the ball off the line? I thought so.
So potentially she could play defensive midfielder. So essentially, even though she's 31, 32, I believe, so she could fill that Leah role if need be.
Yeah.
But I think Jonas said it in his match conference, I'm sure we'll come on to this. Yeah. There's going to be about so many incomings that
it's going to be a busy window for us.
It's going to be so busy.
Do you know what, boys? I'm all here for it.
I'm all here for it. And Jonas was very clear to state that the last 2 windows were unacceptable. And I think it's maybe the summer window, absolutely, because I think the summer window we brought in, I think it was Marchese, Hurtig, and Gio, and I think we can say all 3 of those did not have a major impact on the season at all. I think Marchese had about 2 games and then got relegated behind Sabrina. Gio was half on loan and half not used, barely. And Hurtig, her struggles have been there for to see all season. So we had a rubbish summer window, which was criminal considering we were where we were. And then we go into the winter window, and okay, we got Palova, great signing. I think she's really kicked on. Molekul, bit half and half. Sabrina, great. But of course, we all know what the elephant in the room is. There was the 4th signing that never happened, with the whole Russo scandal and all that nonsense. And so Arsenal need to get this right. And they're in a weaker position now than they were last summer, with half their team, with ACLs or injured. The big news last summer was the fact that Viv signed an extension, whether it was a 1+1, whatever it was. That was the real thing to cheer about. We need a bit more than that this season.
That's still got to be announced as well.
What?
Because it was a 1+1 deal. It wasn't automatically a 2-year deal.
Right. So there's a chance that Viv could choose to leave in the middle of her ACL treatment.
To me, it just makes sense that she would have extended. It does.
To be honest with you, I can't see Viv going anywhere. We've had this conversation. I can't see her going anywhere.
When you're in that situation, I remember Mo in the men's side. Mo got a contract extension to cover the fact that he was injured, and we did it with Santi Cazorla as well for his treatment. So, from a purely logical perspective, we'll see what happens. But
Do you know what? I was half expecting it when they were talking about having Viv for 6 years. I was sitting there waiting, like, come on then, give me the contract announcement. And I was really disappointed by the end of the day.
The picture of her in the stadium. They'd have a tease, don't they? Because they know all they have to do is drop Viv in a retro gear, and everybody was moths to a flame.
Yeah, we just melt down. We have an excitement meltdown, so to speak, not a negative one. But before we move on,
go on, Matt.
We're definitely saying that she's signed that extra year, haven't we? For definite, because of that.
I hope she does. I
think every single Arsenal women's fan is praying she has. I miss her. I really do.
Yeah.
Really do miss her, and it's kind of weird. Arsenal have now got their player of the season up and running for voting.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously Miedema's been out, and you normally expect her name to be first down on that list, but we got the five nominees are Rafaeli Salsa, Frida Leonardson Mornham, Caitlin Ford, Katie McCabe, and Matt's favourite, Leah Volti. So if guys go and get your votes in, I know personally I will be voting for Frida because she's had 3 worldies this season, although I did say 2 on the last podcast, but I forgot about her Zurich goal. Now that was a beauty.
Oh, well,
I completely forgot about that.
She had 2 worldies because she had an amazing free kick against Zurich.
3.
She had waited.
In the Zurich game there was 2, wasn't there?
Yeah, she had a free kick that she top binned, and then she had a screamer to complete her hat trick.
Yeah, so that's 4.
And then
that's 4 worldies this season. Yep, she's got my vote sold.
It gets even better. You had 2 against Zurich, 1 against Spurs, 1 against Bayern Munich, 1 against Leicester. That's 5. That's 5 screamers in a season.
Okay. Oh bloody hell, Katie McCabe.
She's
girl.
Katie.
But
yeah, I think she's just stolen Katie McCabe's boots.
But
she has to have.
The worldie that Katie McCabe scored was probably the most important worldie of the season. If that gives us the 3 points swing against Man City, that comeback.
I think for me personally, it's the Bayern Munich one that got me, because I was there for that one, and also the Leicester one. She came and celebrated right in front of me. I was like screaming my head off.
That was
just them 2 are just the best ones for me. Closely followed by the Zurich one from outside the box. But yeah, those votes are now open over at Arsenal. Please do go and get your votes in. And then we'll find out, I suppose, at the end of the month, which is next week. Unbelievably, it's almost June.
Hello.
Before we move on to the last one, I did want to ask you guys, what was your favourite in the last 18 months? What has been your favourite Rafaeli moment? For me, it's that header against Spurs at the Emirates.
Oh, come on!
Purely because I was sitting in that corner and I had a clear view. I had Adam sitting behind me, and then we were all sitting in a group. It's that goal. It's just 1-1. I won't forget. Oh, I'm sorry, Adam. Did I steal your idea?
You did.
For the audio listeners, Adam looks absolutely disgusted with me right now.
Because I was thinking about this. I was thinking about this today because I know what's going to get asked. And I was thinking all the Hafa moments I could think of.
Yeah.
I think now I'm welcome to be corrected, but in the Conti Cup final, I think it was in the first half, there was a moment when I think it was Sam Kerr ran clean through, and I think Hafa was with her and raced back and mugged her.
She did.
Well, she did. And
Yes.
I remember it was a loose pass.
I remember watching it back, and the look on Sam Kerr's face was priceless.
And because I was in the all the fans are behind Manu's goal, and I'm seeing Sam Kerr bear down on us.
Yeah, and we're sitting there going, "Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!"
It was either at 1-0 or 1-0, and Hafa. And I'm welcome to be corrected, but I'm pretty sure Hafa raced back and
I think it was 1-0 at the time, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, so it could have been 2-0.
Chelsea, unfortunately, it was almost 2-0.
That game, she had one of her finest games for Arsenal, and it's so unlucky that the third goal went down as a Neem Child's own goal. Because in my mind, it's Hafa's goal, and she was such a threat from corners.
But as long as you're an Arsenal fan, that will always be her goal. End of story, regardless of what Sky or whoever's.
I'll let Matt have another crack on his one, because there's a few I want to bring up, but I'll let Matt say his one first.
See, you've mentioned the one I was going to say, so luckily, it's not as important as
Matt. Sorry, you saying your one was the tackle,
No, the header. Again,
So I've stole both your ideas. That makes a change.
Sorry, the other one that I had was the goal against Man City. Although it didn't mean anything at the end, it was another half a goal, and admittedly that wasn't a great game, but it was nice that we got on the
goal was absolutely class though.
If you want to go for big alpha goals, I'd go for the one against Wolfsburg. That kick-started the comeback. I mean, obviously, over the course of the tie, it didn't. Obviously, we lost, but that goal right on half time, made that first leg what it was. Got us back in the game. That was a critical goal. Also, shout out for her opening goal, a first goal for Arsenal against Birmingham when she headed over the corner. We were all there for. That game I will remember for many reasons. My heart was for those of us who, after what they did to us earlier in the season, to the peak of going 3-0 up, to the horror of going being only 3-2 up, requiring Caitlin Ford to win the game all over again. That was but that was Hafa's first goal for us. It was a good header from a corner. So lots of Hafa memories. Only there for 18.
What an 18 months it has been.
Exactly.
It doesn't feel like that at all. It really doesn't.
She's left more of an impact than certain other players who play for Arsenal. They remain nameless, but they come and they go. But she's left an impact, and she will be remembered. So thanks for everything, Rafa. You've been a legend.
My main concern now is that with one Brazilian left at the club, I'm hoping that we'll be looking at bringing another Brazilian in just to make sure that we're a similar sort of age as Hafa, or maybe perhaps in late 20s, but so someone that Gio can have that connection with, because she does have that connection with Katrine, but she doesn't have that older sort of personality mentor, really.
Well, that's a good point, because the Brazil on our men's side, sorry to bring them in again, but they've always, the likes of Martinelli and stuff, have always spoken highly of the likes of David Luiz when they first came to the club. He was almost like a mentor to them and helped them settle. And you do need those elder statesmen of your nationality who can sort of help.
But the thing is, with those though, at this point in time, our players that should be doing that are injured and they can't play.
No, but off the pitch.
Our captain is there every single game. She is somewhere in their stands, and I absolutely love it.
Yeah,
I've got to be honest with you, but there's nobody. Leah's not around. Kim's not around. There's no one else to do it on the pitch.
Katie.
Leah Volti's not around at the minute. There is Katie, but I don't want to say this, but do you really want new players picking up bad habits?
They'll be fighting them.
Don't get me wrong. I absolutely adore adore Katie McCabe. She'll fight anyone's whole team.
But the bigger point was not so much on the pitch, but off the pitch, settling down off the pitch and living in a new country in a world with the language is not your own, and away from your family. You need those people of your creed and colour and nationality that you can relate to, and they can help you settle in. And I think Gio now, as Matt said, she's all on her own at the moment on that front. So yeah, we'll see.
Kind of. She will be once Hafa goes, but not at the minute. So
no,
I think she'll be alright.
Into next season.
Yeah. But a couple last thoughts. What do we think about the new kits? Yes, if they are £72, if you are a member. But if you're not a member, you're looking at an additional £8 to that to £80 for the UK prices. I'm not sure what that is in euros or whatever currency you have in the world. But I like it. I really like it. I think it's pretty.
Matt, do you want to go first?
I just love that you went pretty. I was just saying,
it's so pretty.
There was a cat just walked past and went, "Oh, pretty giddy."
Thanks.
Trust me, it's what
you
I
boys
do
know I like football shirts. If it's a pretty shirt, I'm going to buy it. I mean, I'm actually looking at buying a Portland Thorns shirt. So that's a pretty shirt. Okay. They are second in the NWSL the last time I looked, so they're doing well. And I think Orlando Pride are down in 8th. So.
A lot of work for Hafa to do, getting back up.
Oh yes, a lot of work.
The positives about this shirt: it doesn't have a collar and it doesn't have a button. So for me, it ticks all those boxes. I do apologise because I think I've made Lottie laugh. But
it's all right. I was only choking on my water. I'm good.
But the fact that it's celebrating, it would be nice if they incorporated on the women's side because we went unbeaten. I believe it was ridiculous amount. It was over 108 games.
Yeah.
I mean, Barcelona have only just been stopped by 200 and something. Is that right?
Yes, it's ridiculous. But imagine it on the women's one. It has instead of I think on the white lettering down the side, it has the wins and draws, and it would be nice to maybe just have
no L's on there though.
No. Yeah, just have the 108. But I think a lot of people were taken back by the bit of gold. But to be honest, I think the gold makes it a little bit more classy. And the fact that Adidas probably looked at their World Cup kits and gone, we put it up another level. Now we're going to have to do this for the other clubs. And it just looks so fantastic. And the problem is at the moment is that you're paying 80 quid for it at the moment, which is a bit steep if you look at some people not working full time at the moment. It is a bit of an issue. And I looked at the pre-match shirt, the one that apologies to bring up the men's, but Bukayo Saka in his new signing shirt, he was wearing the pre-match shirt, which is £60 as well. So it's just a bit bonkers that these shirts are so expensive, but it's just very odd. But they're really nice shirts, I have to say.
Depending on what else comes out, I don't like the other two. I will be getting another one for my Freedom Arnhem shirt next season.
The away one we're still yet to know about because
I'm praying for that lovely green one, but you can't really give the green one to anyone else but Katie McCabe. Let's be serious.
Yeah. If it's that green one, I hope it doesn't have buttons. Otherwise, the buttons are going.
Do you know what? As long as it's got a round neck, I don't care because I've got a short neck. Me and collars they just don't work.
I'm not very. The thing is, I'm not hyper interested in football. I mean, I'm wearing one at the moment, obviously, but
that's your 2019 kit.
This might be 29. I got this one 20. When did I get? Was it? I think it was the lockdown. It was 2021. That's when I got it. So I've had this for a few years, and I guarantee you, it's at the end of its lifespan. The print's fading, the names of the bits of the lettering are falling off. I need a new shirt. So I am in the market if you were. So I'm intrigued. I don't know. I know there are people who will happily just wear Arsenal clothes every day and just walk. I mean, I was in the shop just before on the way home. I popped in shops to get some stuff up, and there was a bloke just walking around, just doing shopping, just wearing an Arsenal top. And for me, I'm just like, oh, well, is there a game on? Oh no. So for me, this is just like Arsenal time is the Arsenal top, and then like non-Arsenal time, it's proper casual.
It's regular clothes for you.
Exactly. I could not just like go to the shops and just go like, yeah, I'm just going to go to shops to pick up some stuff.
Do you know what? I'm going to have to put a poll up now. Is the Arsenal shirt just for Matt?
Oh.
And if anyone's listening from the Arsenal retail, please make sure that they have Arsenal women's scarves available with players on them next season, because I think we all want to see Katie McCabe with an Ireland badge on it, or a flag or something, and then it to say she scores bangers everywhere she goes or something like that. Leah Williamson, she's one of our own. These are all things that they can do, but just
I'm intrigued to go into the armoury this next year. I mean, first of all, I should say on the top, I'm not fully swung at the moment. I think I'll feel better about it maybe if I want to see it in person. And obviously, it's on sale.
You can see. Well, it's on sale at Meadow Park this weekend. So
I'll have a look and see if it's the one, because I want to get a Victoria Pullover top. So that's the next name I'm going to rep. The mean era is over.
Are you gonna give up on Leah Volti then?
I see what you mean. I don't know. No, I made the commitment to Pullover well in advance.
Okay.
This is. I'm not one to change.
So Vicky's got your vote then.
Yeah, but if I get an away top, could always be a Leah Volti.
I've actually never seen you in anything else but red and white Arsenal shirts, so that would be interesting.
Well, yeah, I have got some away kit. I just don't wear them. So I'm 50-50 at the moment. I think I want to give it a close-up look at it and see it and see whether I would wear it. It was going to be nice on the men's side that there's going to be a Champions League badge on the shoulder now, which is long overdue.
Champions League never left Arsenal as far as I'm concerned.
No, but the badge has returned, thankfully.
I did, yeah, for the men. But it never left us. I might see
if they do the UWCL badge. I might see if I can get that as well. Well, there was a tweet I did notice. I don't know how true it is, but there was a bit of a scandal with a few years ago when you couldn't get the proper fonts for some of the names, like cut fonts. You couldn't get.
Yeah, they did that with Zinchenko last season. Or this season, should say, not last season.
They said that actually you can now. You can get women.
You can get it, but look how long it took to get Gio's name in WSL font.
Yeah.
Oh God, that was a pain in the arse. Apologies for my language. I know it's not PG.
It's all right, don't worry.
Area. The other thing I was going to say before we move on is in the armory you have a big wall at where the tills are, and it shows like the 3 strips and like, the Arsenal player names on them. And on the home strip, you get like 3 Arsenal women players.
Yeah.
And the other 2 would be men's players. Now, obviously, they're all changing that, and I'm hoping I'd like it if they actually included some more Arsenal women players on the other strip.
The thing is, if you actually look around the printing room, they are all there, all mixed up. There's our regular 11 starters. I know we rotate. They're there. Kimmy's there. Frida's there. Leah Williamson's definitely there. Lotta's there. Paris was there last season.
Eek.
But Stina's there. Caitlin Ford, they're all there, but you just need to look around the screens. There's so many screens, you can't sit there and look at them all. I know you probably would, Adam, but I don't have time for that.
I'm hoping. I mean, what I love with the pictures and stuff is just how much representation there now is with our women's team with the photo. So there's a great picture of Caitlin Ford. And shout out for Steph Catley when asked, what's your view on what's your word that will describe the Arsenal top? It's electric. Because Beth Mead stole my word.
I'm just gonna give myself a facepalm at this point because he stole my next talking point.
I know.
I don't know what I'm gonna do now.
That's for stealing my Haffer goal earlier, Lottie.
You know what?
You're always stealing what I wanted to say, so I thought I'll get mine in first. You know. So yeah. Oy vey.
That video was really well done, but
I definitely the Steph Catley bit was the best bit. I'm going to say electric because Beth nicked my word. I'm sitting there killing myself. I think what the lead described it in one word. It's red. That's 2, 3. You can't the thing.
Oh dear.
So that was a bit funny.
It must have been like a long hot day or something like that, and it just.
Just like it's red, isn't it?
Do you know what they probably did all the filming yesterday?
Sort of one of the other guys' words as well, when they were mentioning it. Was it when they were saying? Was
Martin
it
Odegaard said classy.
Yeah, and Leah Volti.
Leah Volti said it, and then also Beth Mead. So I did. Smith Rowe was quite funny. I don't know what the whole chin thing was. And then you come out with an F word. I was like, okay, thanks, Emil.
I was going to add another interesting bit that came up, and I apologise if I'm now going to steal another point from you, Lottie. But there was as we all know, there's been a lot of discussion about shorts in women's football, and I should note that the Arsenal women will be playing in white shorts next season.
Out of choice.
It's
their choice.
It's agreed with the players, because obviously Man City, we know they have a different. They wear I don't know what the colour is.
It's like a pale blue, isn't it?
Maroon.
It's like a reddy.
It's maroon.
Maroon.
It's that dark maroon brown.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so we're playing in white shorts, and the players are consulting this, and the players are happy because apparently there are things in the shorts that help. So I think, fair play to Arsenal for obviously, consulting and listening, and not, this isn't just not listening to the players at all on this matter, because we know it's a very big topic at the moment. But no, for this season they are in the white shorts and the red tops, and they'll be wearing them, won't they? They'll be wearing them at Meadow Park, and they'll be wearing them at the Emirates Stadium on the Sunday. So we'll see it in person, and maybe that'll convince me, especially if we win. That might help.
If you don't know, they've also decided that the red shorts are going to be available. So if you are looking to do training in Arsenal shorts, you can have the red Arsenal shorts as well this season, which is also great to see.
Are we going to have like a kit where it's like red top, red bottom, like we sometimes do? When there's
in that rare occasion. I've never seen the girls in it, but when you just said that, first thing was Martin Odegaard at Watford. That's the game I remember.
I was thinking Martinelli, the goal Martinelli scored in that one. When Arteta picked up the ball and tossed it on for a quick throw in and caught all the Watford team.
He assisted that. But enough about the men. I talk about the men all the time. Let's just put them to one side. For my audio listeners, I am using my hands to dust them to one side. Don't want to talk about them.
One club.
I know, but this is an Arsenal women podcast.
I know.
Problem.
I know.
We're always dipping into the men anyway, but just push them to one side now. Now for the juicy part. We're back to Aston Villa. Last game of the season. I don't know about you boys, but I'm rubbing my hands together. I've been looking forward to this for ages, especially because I had tickets for the last Villa game, and thanks to Transport for London, I missed the home game on a Wednesday night because it took me over 3 hours to get back to mine, and then it would have been another hour and a half over to Meadow Park, unfortunately. So I decided to go home. I was very angry and very annoyed because I was looking forward to seeing Rachel Daly play, as well as my girls, of course, but massive Rachel Daly fan, as everyone knows on this podcast, but you have been listening for a while. So our current form is lose, win, 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 lose. Aston Villa's drawn, won, lost, drawn, lost.
Wow.
So that's the last 5 games.
Okay.
So their form is very interesting. When I look at that form, I'd say Arsenal drew a draw and Villa drew a win. But the last 21 matches, we've played them. 10 of them were at Meadow Park. We've won 8, drawn 1, and lost 1.
We've lost at home to Aston Villa
once.
Was that in a friendly or in a?
You'd have to go and look. It might have been that. It didn't say what. So
there was a season.
When we've been away to Villa, we've won 7, drawn 1, and lost 3 times.
Wow. Okay.
So at this point, from those stats, we have a 66.7 chance of winning.
You can't.
At Villa Park.
At Villa Park, yeah.
Yep, and 33.3% chance of drawing. That is 100%. There is no, apparently, according to those stats, there's no chance we're going to lose.
Right. Okay. Well, the good thing is it's not about losing as such. It's
also not about stats. Stats paint a pretty picture, and I like that picture right now. Well, but we got to be serious. We are crawling over this finish line on our knees.
Well, like your PE teacher always say, it's not about the winning. As long as we don't lose catastrophically.
I don't mean to be funny. It is about the winning. It's the last game of the season.
I'm being funny. Well, the thing is, Arsenal have got themselves in a really good position.
Yeah.
This season, it actually reminds me a bit of I think it was 2 seasons ago, the last season of Joe, when we were battling for that 3rd place, which was Man United, and we went in. Last game of the season was at home to Aston Villa, and we had a 3-point lead on Man United, thanks to a last-minute Kim penalty away at Everton. And we actually drew 0-0 against Villa last game of the season, and we ended up pinching them by a point. But we had a better goal difference as well, so we sort of knew we were okay. So it is, 2 years on, it is a bit of a deja vu. It's hopefully going to be a bit of a spectacle. Obviously, the last time it happened, it was lockdown, so no fans. There will be fans, and there will be lots of fans. There will be lots.
And there will be only 50 Villa fans.
Yeah.
The rest will be Arsenal fans. But let's not forget, Carla Ward thinks we've all got free tickets from Arsenal. And that's why we all turn up. The question is, how much were your tickets free, boys? Mine wasn't.
No. I think she's been a bit more complimentary in recent days about Arsenal. I think she's had a bit of real humble pie there, and she's actually been quite complimentary on us and how we get the attendance up. And the away 50 tickets thing, I think there's more to it than that. I mean, Aston Villa put a statement out, but I think there was I don't know the full details, but what I gather, it was like, it was offered, they turned it down, then they wanted one, it was too late because obviously we sold loads of tickets, and then they only could have managed 50, and they didn't exactly fly off the shelves when they were put on sale. The maths are that we're 3 points ahead of Man City, I think, with an 11 goal differential positive on them. So providing
they need to win and score 11 plus goals, basically.
Well,
to get Champions League football.
Or they win 6-0 and we lose 6-0. It can flip. Providing Everton, put up a sterling defensive display as a fitting tribute to Izzy Christensen, who has announced that she is retiring in the season. Big congrats to Izzy Christensen, amazing career. Just a quick tidbit: she helped Man City win their first ever trophy when she scored the winner in the Conti Cup final against Arsenal. Of
course it would be us.
Of course it would be us. Yes, it was the sort of the start of the end and the. And Arsenal and their start Man City. Anyway, back to Arsenal.
Just to confirm, City have got 24 on goal difference. We have 35, so you were correct.
Thank you. I did just look at the table.
That's what I've just done, just to double check, because I knew the numbers. I was like, am I right?
Watching the game against Chelsea, obviously Chelsea is, Chelsea, and it's not really good to draw a comparison, but it did look like that, we were struggling to field a team that could sort of win a game. I wonder how we're going to set up. I'd imagine it'll be the back 3, back 5, and I think it would just hopefully be that the individual talents that we have can counter what Aston Villa have. Aston Villa have been amazing this season. I think they've been the best of the rest. I think they're finishing, I think it's 5th by the looks of things. Sounds of things is it looks like their season sort of tailed off a bit. And I think, were they not involved in a thrilling 3-3 draw last time out against?
Yes, they were.
They were. So they've been good.
That was a good game from what Matt told me.
Darley's been good. Daly's been good. Shout out to Rachel Daly, player of the season, Rachel Daly. And
as a striker, not a defender.
No. Well, this actually, we were discussing this. I think maybe I don't know if it's maybe not fair about, it's not fair that these awards, only go to strikers. So a right back, see, a defender has won.
Left back, actually.
She's a left back for England, not Aston Villa. That's the difference. So it doesnn't count. Does not count.
Actually, with all these injuries we've got at the back for England, you never know. We might have Rachel Daly back at left back again, just to fill in. Could happen.
Personally, you'd have Greenwood on as left back, and then someone else comes in.
Greenwood could go
you can even throw Esme Morgan in again and not play her as a centre back.
Plays right back. She's not a centre back. She does not look comfortable from what we've seen of her. This is England. Let's talk about Arsenal and Aston Villa.
So I was going to say Daly's going to go Golden Boot, and so that might work against us because she's going to want to beat Bunny Shaw.
Thing is, it's secure. It's secure when you look at the numbers. She's got it. It's hers.
Well, you've got the numbers. How many have Daly scored?
I've
21.
Oh, there you go, Matt. And how many have Shaw got?
18.
So Shaw
gets 3 ahead
against Everton away.
When was the last time Bunny Shaw scored, though? Let's be serious.
Just to put it into perspective, Viv Miedema won the Golden Boot with 22.
But I think
Rachel,
I don't want to take this away from Daly, but Viv did not score any penalties. There were 22 goals. And I had a big conversation about this on social media. Oh, yeah, but she's done good. I'm not taking that away from her. I've got nothing against Rachel Daly. I'm not taking that away from her. But you need to realise Viv scored 22 goals, no penalties.
Yeah.
That is the difference.
She doesn't like pens. She's more of a pencil person. I think it's going to be interesting how that's going to finish the Golden Boot race. I think the smart money's on Daly, unless Everton have a massive capitulation. I think you're right, Matt. I think Bunny Shaw has tailed off a bit. I do hope Arsenal can it'd be nice if we got a win for the fans to see at home, because obviously it's been, from a league perspective, it's been a disappointment. Mm-hmm. I think we can sort of say we'd hope for higher. Matters beyond our control have held us back, unfortunately, and I think it's to the team's great credit that they've actually managed to win a trophy, get to a Champions League semi-final, and be in position to take third place and get into the qualifying rounds. And I think that you can learn a lot more about a team when it's in this state, injured and struggling and trying to give it, rather than a team that's just been fully fit all season. You learn a lot more in these situations, and we've found a lot of warriors and a lot of heart in this team, and that's only going to be good for us going into next season. So hopefully we can just finish the job off. No stress, no dramas, not us looking at our phones and trying to check the goal difference and trying to see if Man City going 10-0 up has worked against us. It should be a celebration of the players, and hopefully we get some nice goals too. Also shout out, obviously Jordan Nobbs is coming home. Potentially, don't know if she's fit or not, but this is her return in the WSL, and I hope she gets a good reception, as I'm sure she will, from the crowd.
She'll always be one of ours. It doesn't make a difference.
I know, she'll always be a good.
I mean, when we were at the Champions League semi-final, she was sitting directly above me and Matt, and we were singing for her, and she was sitting there applauding for us.
She came to the Emirates.
Yeah, she was at the Emirates. Where you were sitting, Adam, she was in the corner above where me and Matt were.
Okay.
In that corner between the West Stand. Hang on. Yeah, the West Stand and the North Bank. Because we were in that corner. She was sitting above us.
I didn't know that. Oh, fair play. Yeah, she's a gooner through and through. And like just because you leave Arsenal doesn't stop you being an Arsenal fan. I mean, Dan Carter is still a big Arsenal fan.
Yeah. So is Danny Welbeck. So is Danny Welbeck. Pair of them all.
That's how Dan Carter. She's just been released from Brighton. So if Arsenal want to strike her,
just doing it on purpose now.
What?
There's other players that I was going to come up with the players that are being released that are former Arsenal players, and you've just nicked that Daniel Carter's one of them. So just
okay, boys, let's put the boxing gloves down. Okay, it's cool. And you stop giggling. Giggles.
Leaving Liverpool, and Kate Longhurst will be leaving West Ham as well.
Yeah.
A lot of departures. So there's players in the market if Arsenal can be a bit.
And forget also Rashida Long John as well was also agree after the Villa. So it'll be an interesting mix of where they're going to go. But for this game, Villa are not going to have their wall at the back in a pattern.
Oh, was she eligible because of the loan?
Yes.
How's she been for Everton? Because for Aston Villa.
Everton. Sorry. Are we playing Everton or Villa tomorrow?
Sorry, I was thinking of the Man City game. How has she done for Villa this season?
From what I've seen, she's been very similar to what she has been when she was there last season. She's very much better off with her aerial ability, and she's learning constantly. It's almost like they're pushing her to be like Leah is and Hafa, where she'll push further forward and play those lovely either long balls or cross part of field.
Yeah, she's had a few of those this season, and I'm like, looks good. So
it'll be interesting to see how they do. Hannah Hampton usually is up for these sort of games, as long as she doesn't give the ball away to Kate McCabe for a opening goal. That nearly happened again last week against Liverpool, but she managed to get just back in time for that. But this time they're not going to. I'm pretty sure that they're going to want a strong finish. They're not going to pull like a second string squad, and we're going to win this one 5-0. No, that's for sure. It's going to be almost like not a boxing game. I'd probably call it like a chess game. It's going to be probably first 10 minutes. It's going to be end to end. 20 minutes, it might settle down a little bit, and then we might see, or it could be just chaotic for 90 minutes, where it's someone's gone 2-0 up, the next minute someone's gone 3-2 up, and then the next minute it's 4-3 last minute. And
yeah, the thing is, last time out, back in January, we beat them 3-0. This is before before Jordan moved on. Had Frida Leonardson-Mornham scored in 29 minutes, and then in 50 minutes, and then Katie Ford got the final one.
Cup. Yes. Sorry, I was thinking of the WSL game. Yes, when Nobbs got a last goal for Arsenal.
Yes. Yes, I couldn't remember which game it was, but I knew we played on the 23rd of January. I couldn't remember what competition. I didn't look it up. So yeah, no, I think what I do want to see again is Frida nutmeg Rachel Coursey. I think that was absolutely bloody brilliant, that goal. Do you think she's going to make that mistake again, Matt?
I think there's going to be I think it's going to be a very interesting game.
Yeah.
It's quite nice that Aston Villa have decided over the last 2 seasons that Arsenal are going to play at Villa Park for them, and they're incorporating that. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with this fixture come next season. If we return the favour with that 6th game being at the WSL at the Emirates, but for the moment, I think it would be quite nice to sort of pay that favour back.
I hope they're one of the teams that they pick next season. I really do, because personally, for me, going to Kings Meadow twice a season is not good enough.
That's Chelsea.
Oh yeah, I know that, but it's just an example. Going to Kings Meadow twice a season is not good enough, especially when we host them at the Emirates.
Well,
they're meant to be this big club, but they don't play the big teams at their main ground. West Ham have never done it.
Unless it's a Champions
Tottenham,
League.
Yeah, unless it's a Champions League game, which they have to. They've got no choice.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, exactly.
When it comes to the WSL, it's optional. And if Chelsea need to look at that market in different, West Ham need to look at it. Tottenham need to look at it, because the other clubs have cottoned on to it. Man United are sort of doing it, but they're basing everything off the Lionesses, and it's not fantastic. It's a bit shit, really. Excuse my language.
Marietta could be going to Leslie Russo, could be going in the summer. So essentially,
then what is their selling point going to be? If you look through that team, they've got Spanish internationals. Yes, they've got the English internationals. They've got
according to
some French internationals in there. There's so many things you can twist and turn on and advertise on, but they just want to play Suit Caroline and advertise on the Lionesses.
Tom Gary dropped a bit of a bombshell on 5 Live. Apparently, Anya Bata is off.
She's off to Barcelona. She's going back to Barcelona, isn't she?
Yeah, that's according to Tom Gary. He has been announced. Should say I was listening to. There was Tim and Clive did a
She deserves to go. To be honest with you, she's been on that bench. It was ridiculous.
She needs to go to a club that's going to win a trophy. But Tim and Clive spoke about the Arsenal women, about women's football as well. Thank you. And they spoke about how there was actually this organisation between all the other clubs of hang on, I think Lottie just needs a moment to compose herself. So, hold tight, viewers and listeners. Just give us 2 seconds. Matt has given me a round of applause.
I'm sorry, but the way you just said that, you just dropped it. It was so cold. Oh my gosh, sorry. I will collect myself in a second. I'm sorry, I've got the giggles.
Yeah, was it as cold as Skinner's reaction, though, when Garcia scored that last-minute winner against City?
Yeah. And technically, Man United could actually win the WSL if Chelsea were to lose away at Reading, and that totally has never happened before in the history of WSL, apart from last season. But there's this group of all the different clubs. The CEOs come together and they discuss the women's league, and how they're going to improve it. And apparently, every club has their CEO in this organisation roundtable talks thing where they discuss this stuff. Apart from one club does not put their representative forward to discuss how to change and improve the WSL. And what club is that?
Man United.
No, Chelsea.
Oh, what a surprise. I'm sorry.
They don't want things to change. They want things to stay the same because they're winning, so...
Yeah, no, I get that. But you want the sport to grow, do you know what I mean? You want your fans to come see you. Yes, you're nice and loud when you're at Kings Meadow, but we're also nice and loud when we're in the Emirates.
Well, you say they're nice and loud at Kings Meadow. When I was watching Emma Hayes get interviewed in the pre-match, all I could hear were Arsenal fans. So... Well,
that's because we sing down to the last minute. As soon as the game's over, they run out the door. But back to what we're actually here for.
Before we move on to this, sorry, Lottie. So initially, when the WSL was going to be expanding, including the Championship. Man United put themselves forward, West Ham put themselves forward, Southampton put themselves forward, Lewis put themselves forward. So there are teams that are now only just gotten into the Championship, Southampton, and had to do it the long way because they've seen that United are going to have the easier route. Essentially, what Southampton are doing, they've had to do it long term instead of short term. Whereas United just seem to go, we're a big name, we're going to attract about, say, 5,000 fans to this place in the middle of nowhere in a crappy old stadium.
But they're going to win it all.
Win
Even
what?
the Champions League next season.
They do it.
They're
What
going
are
to
they going to do? The
Barcelona.
Just going to do it around the motorway and around the roundabouts of Milton Keynes and London because they've got no fans nearest the stadium.
Yeah.
I can just say for Man United of Champions League, I am so looking forward to it. I'm so looking forward.
Humble pie. I'm baking a humble pie on that day,
Yes.
and I will share it with you both.
I
enjoy it a lot.
wait. The logistics are, I think it's like PSG and Wolfsburg. They could potentially draw in a playoff.
Juventus as well. Juventus as well.
Even Joe. Is Joe still at Juve?
They're still Juve manager.
Joe would cook him.
Frankfurt as well.
And if they were to get into the group stage, I mean, they'd be pot 4.
Yeah.
So they could be in a group with Barcelona or or is Bayern.
Leon.
Do you know what? But sometimes I know it's not all of the fan base, but I feel like they need that reality check. Do you know what I mean? They need that reality check. Unfortunately. Yes, you're a big name in the history of the men's game, but we are that titan in the women's game. We are the titan in that, and the amount of disrespect that flies off, you sit there and go, "Oh my god!"
Would also add,
it's ridiculous.
Sorry to again bring men's football back into it, but I don't think this is specific to the women's game. This is just Man United fans in general have a sense of entitlement that every season they're going to do great because they're Man United, and you see that with the fans, you see it with the punditry. You watch all their pre-seasons. Man United will have a stinker of a season, and then the pundits will go, "Well, yeah, but Man United have invested."
Again, the perfect example is Gary Neville. Oh yeah, they're going to finish above Arsenal. Look at the score. Look at the board.
Exactly. Arsenal said because they asked. I think they asked again. I'm sorry, this is a men's football thing, but they did say who's going to challenge as Man City for the title next season? Who's closest? And they said, Liverpool or Man United. I was like, sorry, have you not seen that Newcastle and Arsenal are both above those two?
Yeah,
no, it'll be Man United and Liverpool. And it's that antiquated viewpoint, and it's in the women's game as well. Now, thankfully, with Liverpool, hasn't like the Liverpool. I don't think Liverpool fans have this idea that they're going to win the league every season, and they're a bit more down to earth and realist there. But yeah, Man United fans just think we're Man United, we're going to win the league, especially when we've got such world-class talent as Rachel Williams, Katie Zellum, Maria Militao.
World-class, Katie Zellum, where have you been?
Matt, you're aware of being sarcastic throughout those listing of players. You said I knew you'd bite, Matt. It's just you just have to say the KZ word, and Matt he's like a meerkat. He just goes, what?
I know it's more of a case he just bit your hand off for saying that.
You've got a song for Leah Volsi. She never gives the ball away. It's almost like, you've got Katie Zalem. Oh, she always gives the ball away. Well, it's literally all she does.
And when I was watching the Man United game, and I was watching,
Lottie's gone, by the way. She's broken down.
When I was watching the derbies last weekend, I actually said I was watching Katie Zellum whip these corners in, and Man United do nothing.
Matt, you broke me.
If Man United aren't converting Katie Zellum set piece chances, and it was even the derby or the cup final against Chelsea, if Katie Zellum's taking set pieces and Man United aren't scoring from them, what's the point of Katie Zellum? So that's sort of where she is. But anyway, Man United they are convinced that this team will win the league someday. If I'm brutally honest, and I will be brutally honest, taking away our mockery of the fans, I believe at some point Man United will win a trophy. It will happen, just like Man City.
It's going to happen. I'm not going to take away the fact that they've had a good season. I won't take that away from them.
No, they've had a brilliant
season. But it's their attitude towards Arsenal is my problem.
Yeah,
the fact that they wanted us to go to Chelsea and do them a favour.
Exactly.
And I was like,
and I think I had it out on someone's social media. Oh yeah, you need to do us a favour. And I went, oh yeah, well you need to stop playing us, and we need to stop picking up ACLs. oh, you can't say that. And I went, have you seen the state of LSV?
With the team, it's like when Man City first got into the WSL, and you're just waiting for that first trophy to happen. As I mentioned earlier, it was against us, and I think at some point, it will happen for Man United. It'll be a cup final. It'll be probably the Conti Cup, maybe next season. It wouldn't surprise me if they won the Conti Cup next season. It's just especially as if the Champions League, they won't be able to lose in the group stage because.
But the thing is, it depends if Chelsea gets to that final, because Chelsea have never lost to them. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, they've drawn against them once, but no, they've not lost to them. But again, he's a hoodoos. Man United had never lost to us until they beat us, and never beaten us until they had beaten us. At some point you have to beat them. So at some point, Man United will.
Unless you're Tottenham Hotspur, that don't count. That's not allowed to happen.
Yeah, but at some point, Man United will beat Chelsea, just as they beat Man City this season for the first time, thanks to that Garcia late winner, which was very grateful. So I do think they're great. So that's why I think at the moment, whilst they are, fluffing cup finals and potentially losing doubles of titles, we have to enjoy it.
The potential is there. I get where you're coming from completely.
And I think, as much as I hate the fans, I think there is a core group of talented players there. If they are managed correctly, and and that's them using that, trying to hint. I think they are the core group that can do well. It's just whether they can get someone in there who can fulfill their potential, and that's the scary thing. Is that like Man City, they are very much underperforming, I would say, for the talent that they have available to them.
For me, I think this is Casey Stoney's team. It's just the way he's managing and the way.
Mark Skinner,
It's almost like the Man City effect. Like even the fans don't like you. If the fans don't like you and you're nearly winning the league, that's it's a bit of an oddity. It doesn't happen really. It's a very rare that you've got a manager that's really disliked, but you go on to nearly win a league. I mean, imagine if people would turn around and said, "Oh, we don't like Jonas," and he won us the league last season. I think a lot of opinions have changed. But anyway, back to this game. I think we should probably do predictions. So I'll probably go Arsenal win 2-1. You're on mute, Lottie.
You're on mute, Lottie. You're muty.
Yeah, I am muted because I was absolutely killing myself with laughter, and Matt made me cry with laughter after that. So, but I've got a really important question before we do scorelines. Sorry, Matt. Really important question. Will Katie McCabe get her final yellow this season tomorrow?
If she gets another yellow card, is it like a 2-game suspension thing for next season, or is that what?
I don't think so. But
how many is she on at the moment?
8, I think. Not
8. She's got. So she'd have to get a.
She missed the United game, didn't she?
Yeah, she did.
So it'll be only 6 or 7. So no.
Yeah. So to be safe.
She got one against Chelsea, didn't she?
Yes.
Yeah. And City.
Well, she does. I mean, we always say she does step up for the big occasions to get that booking. So it wouldn't surprise me if Little John came on for our last game, she decided to leave one on her in a 50-50 cruncher, which I think we'd find as amusing as we would be horrified, and obviously we would not condone such an action on the pitch. I think it's predictable as a Liata Mornham screamer is a McKay booking at some point, 100%.
It's going to happen. We just know it's going to happen.
Oh, 100%. 100%. We know it's going to happen. It's just, it wouldn't be Katie McCabe's last game of the season without it.
It would be
either way. Still United at the Emirates without a card, though. I will give her that.
It's almost like
amazing. But Caitlin Ford was picking them up instead, if I remember rightly.
What you're going to place your bet on, either a yellow card or a banger. And at the moment, it's probably both.
It's one or the other.
Yeah.
Or both.
She got a yellow card against Man City, didn't she? And then scored a banger. So.
I'd put money on both. I mean, like if you look at last season, sorry to go back to the men's football.
Yeah.
I put money on Granit Xhaka picking up a card left, right, and centre because it was going to happen.
Well, that'll be the ultimate send-off for him, wouldn't it?
No, I don't want him to get a card on Sunday. Thank you.
Yeah, but if he's leaving, that's what I mean.
Yeah, I know. But he hasn't had one all season. He's been really well.
He's been really well behaved. You know when you do like teacher reports?
Katie, take notes.
When
she has been taking notes. She hasn't been getting as many yellow cards this season.
Yeah, but I want to see her have a season with no yellow cards. That's what I want to see.
It's the teacher report thing, isn't it? Granit Xhaka, he's been very well behaved at school this year. He hasn't pulled the trousers down and emptied the fish tank. Very well behaved, much improved, discipline, A-star. That's the fair play to Xhaka. I was just thinking as talking about previous Villa matches. You were at last season's home game against Villa, were you, Lottie? Was it last season? The last home game of the season? Was that when you went to? Or was that because last season?
I was at Chelsea.
Oh,
that
right.
was my first game.
Oh, that was the FA Cup game.
No, it's Chelsea. Because I've got... hang on. Is it Chelsea? Yeah.
Chelsea FA Cup.
Because I have my...
So last season...
picture of Viv and Jess Carr.
Last season, our last home game was also against Aston Villa. So we seem to be having... What?
5-0.
7-0.
5-0 that was.
What, at home to Aston Villa, last game of the season?
It was 5.
Last home game was 5-0.
Yeah. No, I was at that game.
I thought this woman Paris got her penalty.
Yeah.
Yeah. I filmed that.
And Stina should have passed it to Laura to score her first goal, but she decided to put it through the legs of the keeper.
Oh, yes. And you were very happy with that. I was going to check that because I thought it was a 7-0 hammering.
It's 5 because I remember Kim gave the penalty to Nikita so she could hit her 50.
Because she was getting fed up.
Viv got 2 goals. Corsi got an own goal. Beth Mead goal. Wibbermoy goal. Stina goal, and a Paris penalty to finish off. So,
it was 7.
That was a Beth Mead banger, if I remember rightly.
Rocket. So we have a habit of having Villa on the last. That's 3 seasons in a row. We've ended the season at home to Villa. Or end a home season, because obviously we were away against West Ham last game. So hopefully a repeat of that 7-0.
No, the season before that, the lockdown season, we played Villa at Walsall, and it was 0-0.
No, that was at Meadow Park. The one at Walsall was a 4-0 because McCabe scored a screamer in that one as well.
I'm sure. I will double check. Carry on talking. I'll have.
It was our only draw at Meadow Park. I think every time we dropped point, we had won and lost a lot of goals, and then we ran out of goals in the last game, but got a 0-0. And so okay, now we've gone all nostalgic and delved in the past. Let's look to the future and discuss some predictions. Matt's obviously gone for a 2-1. I just don't think it's going to be another 7-0. I just think because of our injuries, we just don't have the options. I'd love the season to end with a Jodie Taylor goal, just as a nice sort of coda. She's come in, get her goal, like Paris got her WSL goal against Villa last home game. I'd love it if Taylor did the same. I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm ambitious. I'm gonna go 3-0. I'm going ambitious. I'm going 3-0 to Arsenal. Just to clarify.
Just to put it on.
I can't not see Rachel Daly not scoring. I'm really sorry, but can't not see that. I am gonna go for a game with goals. Ooh. My heart says 5-2 to the Arsenal, but my head says 3-2. So I'm going to take my 3-2, and I'm going to have Jodie Taylor score that last minute banger, and we're all going to be sitting there pulling our hair out, standing, because I'm in the North Bank.
I have looked at it, Adam. It does say that it was the 9th of May 2021, so the 20 to 21, the lockdown season. It was.
Yeah, that's right. So, last 3. So yeah,
last 4.
That's all.
3 out of the last 4 seasons we played for the last game. I've already said 2-1. I'm gonna stick to that. I did have a little fun and games sort of planned out, but Adam's decided he doesn't want to play.
Oh, come on, we've got to play. I want to play.
Effectively,
Adam has to play. He's got no choice.
Okay, well, Matt, you play away. What I'll do is I will play, but I won't. Well, I will. You play. You've got
no choice. It's 2 against 1. You're outnumbered.
So your birthday equals the final WSL goal of the season. So mine is, because it's this weekend, would be a long ranger from Caitlin Ford.
Mine would be October. So
that's a diving header by, I think you said it was Frida Mann, and that was off age.
Yes, diving header from Frida. Yes, please.
And I'm going to go for the 25th of December, please.
So Christmas Day is Pernille Harder with a 1-on-1.
Well, that's one way to sign off the season. Chelsea win the cup with Harder's last goal for Chelsea.
Yeah, but do you know what's mad?
What?
We've had the Arsenal players. You've got a Chelsea player.
Well, Lottie,
I think Matt, there's only one question to ask. Is he Chelsea in disguise?
Well, I'm afraid this is the perfect time.
He's doing a really good job.
Make a confession, actually, as it's the last one, second last of the season. I did name drop the Chelsea podcast in an earlier program. It's time to come clean. I've been the wolf in sheep's clothing this entire time,
Oh no! Run!
I fooled you. I fooled you all.
Damn it. Anyway, boys, thank you for giving me loads of laughs this evening. I mean, I did cry with laughter at one point. So I do apologise. I do apologise. We're going to completely wrap up now. And say thank you for joining me, and thank you to everyone who's tuned in. Please, if you have enjoyed this video, do drop it a like, share it with your friends, and obviously keep coming back because there's still so much to come before the end of the season. And I think the last thing to say is, come on, you Gunners!